Hello and welcome, I'm your host KB and you're watching the Retrospective. Remember how awesome Goosebumps books were in the 90s? Great times. But don't worry because I've already covered Goosebumps in a previous video. Now, if you were like me and a big Goosebumps fan as a kid, then you obviously remember the spine-tingling series, Shivers. No? Well, neither do I. I stumbled across these recently while out op shopping, ironically enough while browsing through the kids' book section looking for Goosebumps books to add to my collection. I've personally never heard of, or at least don't remember these books, which is surprising being that it's such a blatant attempt at ripping off the wildly successful Goosebumps books by R.L.Stine. Written by author M.D.Spenser, whose name obviously shares similarities with R.L.Stine's pen name, the Shivers series had 36 books published between 1996 and 1998. With its first book, The Enchanted Attic, being published by the Paradise Press in 1996, some 4 years after Scholastic's release of Stine's first Goosebumps book, Welcome to Dead House, the Shivers series is very brazen in its borrowing of the winning Goosebumps formula. Nearly everything is copied here, starting with the series title, Shivers, which to me isn't nearly as catchy as Goosebumps. Some of the books feature a foreword of sorts, with the tagline, "Now open the door if you dare," which isn't too dissimilar from Stine's "Reader beware, you're in for a scare."
Reader beware, you're in for a scare.
The book covers mirror that of the Goosebumps books, from the bright, vibrant choice of colours to the bold embossed logo on the front. Also with the covers, we get the fun but extremely cheesy artwork, but while some covers are pretty awesome, they just don't have that badass look that drew me into reading the Goosebumps series as a kid. The book titles are probably my favourite part. While there are some generic names like The Haunting House and Camp Fear, there are some downright epic titles such as Beware the Bog Girl, Night of the Goat Boy, and my favourite, Your Mama's a Werewolf. Now, I only managed to find 3 of the books, but they do include some awesome names such as The Terror on Troll Mountain and The Animal Rebellion, because nothing strikes fear in the hearts of children like farm animals. I mean, seriously, just look at those creepy little glowing chick eyes. Horrifying. While not as prolific a writer as Stine, Spenser would go on to pen another book series aimed at preteens called Humanomorphs, which is quite unique in its own right. Now, obviously that was just sarcasm, as this series is an Animorphs ripoff, but instead of kids transforming into animals, here we have kids morphing into different people, like young versions of their ancestors, historical figures, and one kid even transforms into Poseidon, which is just as weird as it sounds. The 6-book series was published by Peter Haddock in 2000, again 4 years after Scholastic first started publishing K.A. Applegate's Animorphs. I do understand the appeal of wanting to follow a popular trend, and on platforms such as YouTube, it's especially prevalent, with some doing it to great success. But there's some cases where the copying is so blatant, you just have to ask yourself, what's the point? And that's exactly the category that these books fall into. While it's mentioned online that these books have sold millions of copies, I'm just not sure that they have any sort of lasting legacy. To Spenser's credit, the books are all serviceable, but definitely don't stand up to their predecessors.
Viewer beware, you're in for a scare.
Well, that does it for this episode of KB's Retrospective. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode of The Retrospective.